Frustrations are starting to mount for San Francisco. Its second straight loss and now sitting at 3-4 on the season for the second year in a row. The defense played its worst game so far this year, giving up 44 points and over 500 yards of offense. Those are both season highs. And on offense, not even the infusion of Christian McCaffrey could help today. 3 turnovers, a safety, and 10 total penalties as a team. Self-inflicted wounds proving just too much for San Francisco.
And we got to play better football. I think we have some opportunities where we made some pretty big plays and stuff on both sides of the ball. I thought that also happened today. But then we had some plays where I thought we had some opportunities and we didn't do well, especially on some self-inflicted things, which I think went in all 3 phases. So regardless of the players we've added, we have good players, I believe, and I believe we added another one, but we got to play better to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I felt good. Obviously it's a lot getting here Friday, but just tried to do the best I could to learn the most I can in 2 days and get rolling.
You're obviously frustrated after any loss, but you got to take it in stride. We're only 3-4 right now. There's a lot of football left to be played, so don't want to hit the panic button or anything like that right now.
I think we can see where we're really at. We're not as good as we think we are, or thought we were, or whatever. But you don't want to lose any, especially not 2 in a row. We kind of hurt ourselves a lot through the game. That's been a story for us. So we just got to be cleaner.
It's frustrating. Something we can learn from as well. It's a great team. They took advantage of some things they've seen, and we had chances to score. We just didn't take advantage. And at the end of the day, that comes back to bite you.
It's very frustrating. Losing sucks. I think we had 10 penalties. Very sloppy. Overall, we can't shoot ourselves in the foot. I think we had 4 turnovers if you include the safety, I think, right? That's just not very good football.
Got to get back on the drawing board, They play. You got to give credit where credit's due. They played a good game. Defensively, on my part, I got to do a better job just to limit those plays. Hopefully, we see them again.
All right, we now bring in Sean Cunningham to help break down this game. The 2 things that stood out to me: the offense looking pretty stagnant. They had that great first drive, but even that ended in a field goal instead of a touchdown. And then the defense playing far and away its worst game of the season.
Yeah, that's what stood out to me. The defense was absolutely uncharacteristic, and part of that is because they've had so many injuries. They've got guys playing out of position. You got people in nickel that have never played there before, and then you get a guy who you rely on a lot, and Nick Bosa back, and he's coming off of an injury. And Chris, he lines up offsides twice. That's not just jumping the gun. That's literally just being out of sorts. So uncharacteristic, of course, but this is a team that relies on its defense to put points on the board, and they didn't do that tonight. I think the offense really, it got moving pretty well. A lot of criticism will go Jimmy Garoppolo's way. But certainly, they did their end. I know we talked to George Kittle early in the year, and he's saying, if you can put 21 points on the board, this defense will take care of business, and they didn't do that tonight.
And sticking with that offense, Christian McCaffrey joining the team on Friday. He's playing in a game today, limited to just about 20 plays, according to Kyle Shanahan. That's all he had from the playbook. What do you think he brought to the team today?
I think he was very impactful, and it's funny because of those 20 plays, they really probably only ran about 10 of them. He was very impactful. Kyle Shanahan's playbook is chapters long. It's probably as long as the Bible, and to learn that in just a few days is a tall task. So Christian McCaffrey, that's probably the biggest thing to take away from this. You're optimistic because this offense will get clicking as long as he stays healthy. And you got Jimmy Garoppolo, who I know gets a lot of heat. These fans were ready to throw beer bottles at him after he throws a pick in that end zone, and that was a tough one to come away with, but I thought he played pretty well overall, and I think the combination of McCaffrey, you add him with Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, you get this line healthy again, and I think this team is going to be very, very dangerous. I think it's the most offensive weapons that Jimmy Garoppolo has had around him at any point here in San Francisco.
Now, we've talked about it already. They're 3-4 on the year, sub 500 record, nearly halfway through the season. At what point do fans start to worry about where this season is going? Do they start hitting the panic button? Is now the time?
Fans will, and they shouldn't. Just pump the brakes, 3-4, like you said, not uncharted territory for this team to go 3-4 and you get to the NFC Championship, and probably should have been in the Super Bowl. So to me, I don't really get too excited over that until about maybe 10 or 11, and who knows what you look like 3 or 4 weeks from now. Injuries just play such a factor in the NFL, so I wouldn't hit the panic button. I think this team is in familiar territory. This was a clunky game against a non-division opponent, but fortunately you rely on those division opponents, that there's not a lot of separation within that division, and I think it starts next week.
The NFC West is certainly down, and as you said, next week on the road in LA, taking on the Rams, and then a much-needed bye week. That'll help them get some guys healthy again and get Christian McCaffrey a little more up to speed on that offense. That's going to do it for us here in Santa Clara. Kirsten, let's send it back to you.